Welcome to the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. We are about to go live on cavecrewradio.com, YouTube and Facebook. Please share the show and remember to like, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a thing. And please leave us your comments too. Get ready. It's going to be another big show with all the latest hot topics, pop culture and weird news. Ladies and gentlemen, and I use that term loosely, here are your hosts, DK and the Big B.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Cave Crew Radio pre-show. I am on the air right now with Big B. We're going to bring one of our guests in shortly. I'm going to mute his mic again because he's vaping. The other one's getting yelled at by his girlfriend, and everything's going to be okay in just a few minutes, Big B.
The show is starting off with a bang already. And they're just in the green room.
So, but I now realize I used to listen to all the irritating sounds in the green room, and I now realize I have the control to mute. And I know you said you didn't hear any of it, but
yeah, I never hear it because I'm not the host of this on Be Live, so I don't hear anything that goes on in the green room.
Yeah, well, you're not missing much. Choo Choo Stu was serenading me earlier, playing some amazing acoustic guitar. I was requesting "Hey Ben." He wasn't listening to me. But anyway, listen, we got a big show coming up in about 7 minutes. We've got two special guests tonight joining us. We've got some good news stories. We've got Mike Jolitz reads the news. Scotty and Chair are not with us, but he is going to go on trial. I believe it's our second time this year. I can't remember what the last one was, but we are going to the highest court of Urine Stench Alley.
Sometimes circumstances just dictate that we need the highest court of Urine Stench Alley more often than other times.
It's the only way we get justice.
Right. And this year has been more busier for the highest court of Urine Stench.
What was the last one? Do you remember? Or,
no, I don't remember.
Yeah, I have to go back because, it's a very rare situation, ladies and gentlemen, when you get to join us in the highest court of Urine Stench. But tonight you will. And it's not only me pleading my case, but we have two other people in the plaintiff's chair or defendant's chair, whatever they choose.
I'm very much looking forward to this, and I will be presiding over the trial.
Yes, you are the judge, as always.
Yes, and we will see where the arguments go and see what the verdict will be, and if there is punishment, what the punishment will be.
And listen, I'm pleased to report a couple of things in follow-up to last week when I was in quarantine because my son tested the positive on a rapid antigen test. That I remain negative. I'm back to work. I'm back out socializing and all that good stuff, and I am still COVID-free.
So one question I have from last week was, and we talked about it briefly, you were in lockdown or quarantine because of the COVID positive test in your house. But Mrs. DK went out to the store.
Right. She broke. She should be arrested. You're right.
Did she? I don't recall the resolution to this. Did she come back? Did she infect anybody while she was out?
Well, that we don't know because we're the way things are now, and I'm sure it's the same over there, is nobody's testing anymore. Unless you have symptoms and you are sick and you go to the hospital, we call them high-risk cases now.
Right.
We don't know who's sick. So she did. She broke quarantine. She was a rebel. God bless her soul.
If I recall, she went out to get some Gatorade and some chips or something like that.
Popsicles, I think.
Popsicles, that was it.
My son was still exhibiting symptoms, or as I still hold true, he was playing it up. I'm sorry. I know it's my own family, but this is a child that will miss school and miss anything for the life of him. He was back in the gym this week, and he's fine. And so we're open now. We're open to unvaccinated people. You can do whatever you want. Full arenas, full stadiums and restaurants. But we still got the damn masks till the end of the month.
Well, I will have more about that from my perspective in my epicenter.
Epicenter. I can't wait, which is 2 minutes away. Hey, why don't we bring one of our guests up here? Let's unmute the Englishman. We used to go. Oh, not
check.
Yeah, you're
check.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, good evening.
We used to call him Africa. Well, we used to call him Choo Choo Stew. Then we called him Africa. But now 3 phases into this healthy living thing, he is now Guru Stew.
Guru Stew.
Yeah, it's very good to be back and hear your dulcet tones live. I do like that.
And a fellow Englishman has followed you here, Short Sai.
Good evening, Short Sai.
Short Sai says, oi, oi.
I know we will definitely have a show name tonight.
Oi, oi.
So how's things over there, Stu? We're going to bring in another guest in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, very good over here. COVID-free. We're just living normal lives. No one talks about COVID anymore. We're just talking about Ukraine over here.
Yeah, sad state.
It is a sad state. But yeah, COVID it exists, but my brother's actually tested positive today.
No.
And he's in bed with sort of like a man flu type thing. Mm-hmm. Feels pretty rough.
It hits different people differently. My son, who's a healthy 18-year-old, goes to the gym, plays hockey, double vaccinated.
Yeah.
Sick in bed for 3 days. Me, unhealthy lifestyle, triple vaccinated, mind you. Sitting in the room with him. I had COVID to the left, I had COVID to the right. And COVID don't like me.
Well, it's the same here with Oscar, my son. COVID's been through my house twice in the last couple of years. And most recently, like the last couple of weeks or whatever, we've all had it again. Oscar, he's dodged it every time. He's no vaccinations, nothing.
He's got tiger blood.
And he's just, he doesn't test himself or anything like that. He just carries on and gets up and carries on with his life. And it doesn't faze him.
I don't know. My son, as soon as he went back to school, as soon as I forced him that he was going back to school, he was at the gym, he was at hockey, everything was okay again. I don't mean to be the skeptic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not that guy, but there you go.
Did you have to produce a negative test for him to go back to school?
Well, no, we just we did a rapid, but you do the rapid antigen test, and you can test positive afterwards for 3 months.
Yeah. If you that's why at work I can't train people for 90 days. I can't have the big test, whatever it is, the PCR test.
PCR test.
So now I do that at home test, the lateral flow tests.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
I'm only training people that have had COVID now.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's all right. Works out well for me.
All right, we're going to go live, kids. Everyone sit tight, and we're going to get our other guest in. We're going to go big show. Just sit tight. I'm going to turn on the radio button here, and from there, I do this, and we're good.
Air traffic control, bring in New York. Roger that. Bring in Canada. 10-4. Gentlemen, we have liftoff.
The show is about to start. Roger, we have liftoff. In 3, 2, 1. Warning, Will Robinson. This program contains bad words. Use caution. If easily offended, enter at your own risk. Cave Crew Radio 2022. The tradition lives on.
There was a time when the world turned their back on men. Men with a dream and savage yearning within them. Legions compelled by passion that knows no boundary. A consuming flame that defies plausible explanation. Battling the forces of domestication, they find the courage to band together to experience the awesome power of the men.
I say this without being Scotty.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Today's broadcast of the Masculine Feminist has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am.
Gotta go to a place like a shot and a beer and steak, man. Saying we can stop, get pancakes, and then we'll get laid, all right?
Why do you drink ice cold beer on a hot day?
Mr. Clavin, what else are you gonna do with it?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
The Yankees are champions of baseball. It's a power fly goal.
This is Cave Crew Radio.
Indeed, it is, ladies and gentlemen. It is Cave Crew Radio. Great to see everybody doing cheers out there. My name is DK, and I am live from my cave in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Signs of spring are slowly coming here, and I'm so excited. I am out of quarantine, as I reported on the pre-show. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live at cavecrewradio.com. And, of course, we are available wherever podcasts can be found. Special shout-out to something that's really moving. If you were a stock market type of person, the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group, a while ago, we were at like 991 or something like that. We were pleading for members, getting everybody involved to get us over 1,000. 1,033, ladies and gentlemen, 1,033. All you have to do on Facebook is Google Cave Crew Radio or Facebook it, I guess. We've got a big show, so I'm not going to hold things up too long. We got two very special guests that you see on screen. But first of all, I would, of course, be amiss if I didn't bring your attention towards the President-elect of the United States, the Duke of Urine Stench Alley, as knighted by the Queen. Of course, the judge and jury, as we will find out later tonight, in the court of Urine Stench Alley. And, ladies and gentlemen, a university graduate and always the epicenter of something, Sir Big B.
Yes, live from Queens, New York, I am Sir Big B, your President-elect of the United States of America. And, as always, the epicenter of something this week, I am the epicenter of all things dropped mandates.
Drop mandates. So you're a step ahead of us here in Canada.
So we here in New York have dropped all mask mandates everywhere. We have dropped the vaccine passport mandates, so we can go freely inside a restaurant, outside a restaurant, in a movie theater, whatever. We don't have to show nothing. We don't have to wear a mask. The kids can go to school without a mask. Everything is dropped here in New York.
You could French kiss the unvaccinated.
We certainly could.
Excellent.
Everything here is dropped in New York City. Of course, that can only mean one thing. Midterm elections are coming up, and the Democrats are scared shitless that they're going to get hammered, so there are no more mandates.
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about that as time goes on. Amanda, I know it must be nice, but we're almost there. The last thing is the masks, and of course, both the American and Canadian government removing all travel restrictions.
Yeah, it's several countries before us have dropped everything. You know, Sweden dropped everything. Finland had dropped everything. A couple other countries before us. So hopefully soon Canada will drop all their mandates as well. Because
stay tuned for a Cave Crew Radio get together somewhere.
There you go.
United States.
Somewhere, maybe Kentucky.
I'm thinking Tennessee, that's like a state over. But I'm sick of hearing about Kentucky. I'm guessing it would be the first guest you should bring in is to my top. You're that way.
That way for me.
Oh,
so it's been a while since I've been able to do this, and it's become a rarity, but it's still very exciting. Every time I get to ask, is London calling?
Yes, London's calling. Good
Did
evening.
you want a drum roll? Wait a minute. I've got one for you.
He was air drumming the drum.
There you go.
Good evening, everyone. This is London calling.
Check.
Thought I'd pop in and just say hello. It's been a little while, and nice to see Jason there in my bottom right-hand corner, and Big B there, and DK. Yeah, how are you all?
I don't see how this is fitting in the screen because I point that way. Okay, let's see for a little experiment.
You're below me.
Okay, Choo Choo Stew is up there. Yes. Yep. No, not Big B is wrong.
To me, he's right there.
Big B's in the top right. I'm in the top left. Jason's in the bottom right, and you're in the bottom left.
That's what I got.
That's what I have. That's what I have too.
Then you're pointing, and then your camera's fucking backwards.
Oh, I've got a mirror camera.
All right. Anyway, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we have changed his name again. If you can't notice, hang on a minute here. And this is nothing to be ashamed of. Let me get along here. I got so much shit going on today. Look how fit this man looks.
He looks wonderful.
We now call him Guru Stew.
I don't know how I look. I feel okay,
He used to have a double chin. I believe it was the weight of his body that made him look like his hair was almost at his eyebrows.
No. I've lost a few pounds, but hey, it's not how you look necessarily; it's how you feel, isn't it?
Are you ready to fight yet?
I'm not. No. It's just it's always a day at a time, and today is not a good day, like diet wise or whatever. But you know what I mean? I got to live my life, and it's just it's always a day at a time.
What was that?
I don't know.
Was that what's her name? That thing he talks to?
Her name's Amanda.
Oh, okay. Amanda, you can go to a different room.
We thought it was Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya. That's right. I thought for sure it was Kenya. We're going to be talking about alternate universes and stuff. Anyway, speaking of, you got to cheat once in a while. Let's bring in the other guy over here. Ladies and gentlemen, he's living life in Sepia. He is Captain Canada. He is our first finalist over here for me. Oh, God, this is terrible. Thank God we're not the Brady Bunch. Our first finalist to see who will face Big B, and believe it or what, Captain Canada, Mr. Sepia, Jason Scott. I got a drum roll for him too. Hang on a minute. God, you guys are getting demanding. How about a doorbell?
Yeah, that'll do.
Welcome back, Captain.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
All right. Please, no more haunting noises. Who was your friend, the Chihuahua, there a little earlier?
This is my buddy Hank.
Hank, what a great name. Maybe Ziggy will make an appearance later. I used to have Jerry.
Good boy.
Have you ever thought about getting a dog?
This is Amanda's dog.
Oh, you used to love Jerry, Stu. Come on.
I did love Jerry, I must admit.
Jerry was everyone's favorite, and I couldn't stand Jerry, and I only love Ziggy. But anyway, all right, guys, we got a big show. Jason, I got to drop you for just a minute. Don't take this personal, but there's a few things I'm not going to drop you. I'm going to solo you. There we go. There's a few things I have to show here very quickly. First of all, we had mentioned, Big B, about cave dweller Chris Apthorpe.
Yes.
Raising all that money for cancer and saying that he would wear a dress on the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, in all his glory, Coach Chris lived up to his word and wore a muumuu to hockey practice. And that is awesome.
And it's a great thing he did. He raised all this money for cancer. So it's a great thing that he did, lived up to his word, and everybody loved it. I saw all the comments on when you posted it on Facebook. It's a great thing that he did.
Yeah. I gave him money, and then my wife gave him money, and I didn't know my wife gave me money. I gave him money. But anyway, he had a goal that he set, and he said, if I hit this goal, I'll wear a dress. I'm in. I got to see this. And now I have this picture saved forever. And when Isbia and I go to renew our vows in Jamaica or Hawaii or whatever it is, I will have Coach Chris as my best man in that dress.
Nice.
It's got to be.
And the next time he does something like this, you have to let me know, because I will contribute as well. Make sure he gets over the edge.
He will be at it again. And as we briefly mentioned, I should have put Stu in the green room because he left. But last week, 2 weeks ago, right?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Jason Scott beat himself. Dr. Mike Devine did not show up. I thought it was last week. I'm losing track here. Anyway, Jason Scott is the first contestant to move ahead, and he's almost there. He's almost at Big B. We still have Amanda in Africa yet to go.
And I have not heard from Dr. Mike Devine.
No. I hope he didn't hurt himself like in a skiing accident or something.
I checked his Facebook page. There's no new posts. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm trying to find Jason again. This is getting very confusing. There he is. Okay. You're back, Jason. Sorry. Next time I'll boot Stu.
So can I beat myself in the next round?
Maybe if Amanda doesn't show up. Apparently, when Amanda eats 2 Krispy Kremes, she gets an upset stomach. So,
well, I'll send some in the post.
We have 2 boxes of them here.
I guess if we do a podcast without hats, maybe we'll raise some money. I could do that.
I don't think anybody's going to care if we took our hats off.
I don't know. We raised all that money for that one kid.
Although I don't know how Jason would deal with all the sun in his house without the glasses on his hat.
I have hair. I'm just extremely gray.
And Amanda says she will not just be letting you win, Stu.
I have hair as well, but I just crop it short.
And everybody wants to see us without hats. So maybe that'll be, well, maybe next time the next challenge comes along and we can help Chris raise some more money. We'll agree to take our hats off.
No one sees this except the ladies.
I think the only person that's seen me are the ones at work or my wife. I agree.
Why do I think that Jason is premature balding? That's why he doesn't want to take his hat off.
And why are you eating again? You just had an extremely huge meal. It's not like you didn't get your smoked meat sandwich from Charlie's.
My sugar is low.
Oh my God. You were drinking Coca-Cola. How can you
I hope that's Diet Coke.
They want the show sponsored by Elvis Juice. Is that worthy of a...
What is Elvis Juice?
I have no idea. It's Stu. Oh, over there.
Stu.
What is Elvis Juice, by the way, Stu? What hang on.
Well,
what exactly is that?
It's by Brewdog is the company that make the particular drink, and it's a grapefruit infused IPA, India Pale Ale.
Oh.
It's really nice. I love. To be honest, I mean, this is my first drink since New Year's Eve, so I don't really drink a lot these days. But I love the grapefruit and the sort of the flavour it brings.
Did you get more than one of those?
I did. I've done a few of them. I've got a couple more indoors. I'll pop in during the break and go and get some.
Okay. Poor Mike Jolitz reads the news.
Yeah, but I download Mike Jolitz on a separate podcast. So
I think when the host, and I'm not, because Mike Jolitz usually has some gems.
Yeah, I do listen. I download and listen to Mike Jolitz every week.
All right. Anyway, guys, we got a lot to get to. I'm not going to exclude Jason this time. So, Stu, you're just going to the green room for just a second. We're going to go into Big B's news stories for the week. And I just got to find the right one here and play his little thing.
I gotta find them whole.
The home of the weirdest news on the planet with senior correspondent Sir Big B.
Sir Big B has some news for us here, and Stu, don't worry, you'll be right back in a minute. He's just pulling them up here, but here's our first story of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
This comes from the Daily Mail. The headline reads, Finnish cross-country skier suffers a frozen penis during the Winter Olympics 50-kilometer race. He then uses a heat pack to thaw it after suffering unbearable pain. A Finnish cross-country skier who has been pictured several times training in his underpants suffered a frozen penis during the Winter Olympics 50-kilometer race, which took place in minus 17 degrees Celsius conditions over the weekend. Remy Lindholm was forced to use a heat pack at the end of the race to thaw out his genitals after spending just under an hour and 16 minutes traversing the course in Zhangzhou in the howling, freezing winds. You can guess which body part was a little bit frozen when I finished, he told the Finnish media. It was one of the worst competitions I've been in. It was just about battling through. When the body parts started to warm up after the finish, the pain was unbearable. It is the second time Lindholm, who has been pictured training in several unsuitable outfits, including a shorts and t-shirts combination, has suffered the painful injury while racing following similar incident in Ruka, Finland last year. So this is the second time he's gotten frozen penis.
This guy has had cock frostbite more than once.
Twice. At this, it's coming to the point where they may amputate.
I have so many questions, and especially from Stu because he knows Finnish people.
I've done angels in the snow naked.
Did you get frozen penis?
Frozen penis.
I've got a hardy penis. Not a penis, a hardy penis.
That's what one of my questions was. When you have frozen penis, is it hard? Like, a frozen hot dog is hard. A frozen popsicle is hard.
I think his fingers and his toes might have felt the frost.
What's Big B doing?
He's doing like a Stevie Wonder impression.
What the fuck is Big B doing?
I'm sorry, Mrs. B came down and I was shooting.
Oh, I thought you were doing like the fucking thing when the politicians were on.
No.
You were even making the faces. We're all looking at you. We thought you were sign languaging Stu's response.
No. While Stu was responding, I figured it was a good point to mute my mic and speak to my wife who would come down. She had to tell me something.
Now, can I just take a sidetrack because I'm not done with my questions? Does everybody realize live radio etiquette? Big B took the time to mute his mic.
Of course.
While he was eating popcorn.
But Big B's a professional.
On a fucking
He's
thing.
been to school.
They just want to bring forward radio etiquette. Anyway, so back to what my train of thought was here. And you guys always put me in such a terrible place. He had a frozen cock.
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice. I wonder if he can still perform. But anyway, when you have a frozen cock, penis, appendage, whatever it is, it must be hard.
Not necessarily. Finnish guys have got quite big penises.
Okay, and Stu would know. He's been in the saunas.
They are quite well endowed.
You can't call them out. Finnish men, are they circumcised, Stu?
I don't know. I didn't study it that well, but they are quite well hung. The old Finnish people. And Oscar has taken my wife's side of the family.
Look, there you go. I just want to know if the frozen penis was it like, like when you see an icicle hanging off the side of your roof on a winter day.
Yeah. Was there like an extra shadow there? Oh.
Here's Big B.
So this is him in his underwear practicing skiing.
Oh, I didn't see that picture. So he's intentionally doing this.
Yeah. It says right at the end of the story, it says such negative 17-degree conditions can cause hypothermia and lower the body's temperature to a level that can cause vital organs, including the heart and nervous system, to enter a state of shock, potentially leading to a heart attack or lung failure. It was not immediately clear if any other skiers suffered similar injuries during Saturday's race, which was the race when it was delayed and then shortened by 20 kilometers.
But after you've been out in the snow all that time, you just want to warm up generally. You don't think, I must warm up my penis. Do you?
I've never. Well, let's go to Southern Ontario. Have you ever experienced in all those snowstorms and cold frozen penis?
Not too often, no.
So you have once in a while.
Sure.
I've never had a frozen penis, and I've experienced a lot of winters.
I think a penis has got its own protection, its own built-in system. That's
what I'm saying. Like
it withdraws, doesn't it?
Yeah, my ears get cold, my nose.
That's why you end up with half-inch and a dozen wrinkles.
Right, the turtle head goes back into the shell. Yes.
The question is not shrinking. This man had frozen penis. Just dip it in hot chocolate. It's all good. Well, with frostbite, though, short side, you're not supposed to rinse in warm water. You're supposed to use hot water. You're supposed to, use cool to warm water to alleviate frostbite. Anyway, this guy's a veteran at this. He's a trooper. Did he win the race? Did he finish?
He finished the race. He didn't win.
He did not win. Okay. Chalk one up for Finland.
Well, good on him anyway. You know what I mean? He was a trooper.
All right. Jason Scott right now is Googling frozen penis. He's going to enlighten us.
He can't wait to see the outcome of frozen penis.
He's our resident fact checker. What did you find, Jason?
I'm just sharing the live to some.
Well, thank you.
Some places.
We appreciate that. All right, your turn to go down this time, Jason. Let's move over to our next story. Oh, and I always bring it into court. All right, we have to go to court very shortly, folks. So next story, Big B, is about this lovely young lady.
So the man with the frozen penis, if it was erect at the time, this woman might be a fan of it. This coming from the Metro UK. Headline reads, woman on OnlyFans with 2 vaginas says she uses one for sex work and one for personal sex.
Why not?
Might as well be organized with your multiple vaginas.
Yeah.
Having begun her sex work after a relationship breakdown, Evelyn says she now keeps one vagina for use in her work and one for her personal life. And she is currently pregnant with her second child. I worked as an independent escort for about 7 years, traveling around the world, says Evelyn, who is in Queensland, Australia. I was able to use one vagina for work and one vagina for my personal life, which made the work a lot easier emotionally and physically on me. After I quit this, I started OnlyFans, filming adult content with both vaginas, and it's been very, very successful.
She's doing OnlyFans with both now.
With both vaginas. Now I want to know when she had when she was doing one for work and one for personal, were there little tiny signs above? Like when she's at work, she had there was a "Do not enter" sign.
Yeah. And you're assuming they're side by side, or or one above the other.
Where else would they be?
I want to hear about when she's double dildoing, and then we'll get to our questions. She's the double dildo Dora.
One could be on her back.
Hold while I write things down.
Yes, it doesn't say. You're right. It could be inside by her molars. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like above her bum. I'm
just assuming that it's right there. Anyway, let's get the rest of the story. I'm sure even Jason looks like he has some good questions. Carry on.
She's been so successful. In fact, the 31-year-old says she earns thousands every month on OnlyFans. But along with the benefits, there are plenty of unusual things that Evelyn has to think about due to having 2 vaginas.
Oh, I can't wait.
Putting 2 tampons in when she's on her period.
That was one of my questions.
Having both vaginas tested for STDs when she visits the gynecologist. And even where her partner can ejaculate while they're having sex. My doctor has told us to choose only one side to ejaculate in. So there you go, one side. They're side by side.
They're side by side. Okay, the Twin Towers.
So, but
the twins.
How does the person aim? Because they would go straight down the middle normally. So it must flip flop either side.
Usually the girl helps you.
Well, yeah.
But can you imagine, like if they're side by side, just create like a bullseye right in the middle and try to get it right there, right in the middle?
Yeah, I wonder what happens. Does it arouse? Which one gets excited? It's like that thing that goes like.
Wait.
It brings a whole new thing to double penetration, doesn't it?
And it takes a whole new meeting to one for the pig or one for the stinker. You need that.
She says, sex in each vagina feels very, very different. I prefer one side, but it depends on the position and the shape of the guy as to which one I choose to have sex in.
And is one more well used than the other?
She prefers one over the other.
Does it depend on the tide? Like what fucking makes it the favorite? Is it the flavor of the month? Like what the?
I have no idea. She says, having two vaginas has made my sex life a lot of fun. We can have sex in one side and use a toy in another. And then there are all sorts of positions and things I can try.
I'm sure there are.
They both feel very different to me, so I've been finding out what I like and don't like on each side. Evelyn explained how, after visiting the doctor for a pregnancy termination at the age of 20, she was surprised to find out about her two vaginas. She didn't know until she was 20 that she had two vaginas.
Sorry, go on. No.
The splitting of her reproductive system meant that carrying a pregnancy full term would be risky, as each of her wombs is half the size of an average woman. So she's got two wombs too. So there's two completely separate things in there.
So she could get impregnated by two guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Sex in stereo.
Working in the sex industry, Evelyn concentrated more on the benefits of her two vaginas until she and fiance Tom discovered that she was once again pregnant. When she was pregnant, she says, I couldn't get tampons to work. Hold while I write things down.
I couldn't get tampons. Jason, you're very silent over there while Big B is writing down. What's on your mind?
Just taking it all in.
Yeah. Okay. You're the very quiet co-host. Have you found any information out about frozen penises yet?
No, I haven't, but I'll get right on that.
Sure, you'll report to us in the Facebook group.
She says she would use a tampon and would still bleed.
Oh, no.
When I was 14 and I got my period, there wasn't access to the internet like there is now, and I lived on a farm with just my dad at that point.
Yeah, of course you did.
She thought it was perfectly normal to have two vaginas. She thought all the girls in her class had two vaginas.
She says it was a relief to finally discover why everything felt different. When I started having sex, it always felt different to me every time, and it wasn't until this termination procedure, when she was pregnant, that I finally found out what was wrong.
I think she might be confusing her butthole for a second vagina.
Maybe she has a very sensitive sphincter.
And then the rest of it goes on about having her kids. So.
Yeah, well, we don't care about that part. But I was really respecting the girl at first, and I had questions. Would it be considered cheating because she's using one vagina, for extracurricular activities, and one vagina was for a boyfriend and to have babies. I'm curious how she got an STD in both vaginas, but.
Maybe she should get like a tattoo there, like keep to the right or something like that. This way only or something like that,
Oh, keep to the right.
But then she broke down after, I was respecting her for a minute there. I'm thinking, okay, it's like you're like a Siamese twin. One side of you is a slut, one side of you is a nice little girl. And then she gave in and said, I use now both my vaginas for my OnlyFans page.
Hey,
we will need a link.
Isn't the OnlyFans page like some kind of thing when they send you photographs or something? They said it's not like you meet them in person.
It's a porn website. It's like an amateur porn website where
Okay,
you
yeah,
go
yeah. So
on
it's not like meeting that they don't
no,
meet her in
no, no.
person.
It's a subscription thing. You have to pay to get on and pay to see individual profiles and things.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's going to like go to a Comic Con when she's older and then have a meet and greet with the two vaginas.
But you know what? If you had two vaginas, wouldn't you go on OnlyFans and try to make $1 million?
I definitely would.
Back in the day of the circus, she would have been right beside, the hairy woman and the the guy that turned into a gorilla and all that stuff.
That's right.
But, all right. We wouldn't be ending this purposely. I think it's whose turn to go down. Let's Stu, just for again, I hit the wrong key. You get a solo before you go down. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The woman with two vaginas. And we always end things up in wonderful Florida, Big B. What does Florida have in store for us?
This coming from bold.com. Headline reads, Florida couple installs drive-through window in their mobile home to sell drugs. A Florida couple who saw themselves as entrepreneurs were arrested after they reportedly installed a drive-through window in their mobile home from which they could sell drugs. William Parrish Jr. and Mackenzie Dobbs from Ocala were arrested by police during a raid that took place after 4 drug overdoses took place in the area. The drugs in question were soon traced to the couple's home, and authorities wasted no time in getting the operation shut down.
It was obviously not wacko tobacco if there was overdoses.
Oh, correct.
Yeah, okay.
In order to avoid having their regular customers coming in and out of their home, Ocala police say Parrish and Dobbs used their kitchen window as a drive-through with signs directing people where to go. It was like a McDonald's menu.
It's a trailer. Where else would you go? Do they have a safe injection site? Like, what's it? Is there a picnic table under an umbrella? Like, well, what do you mean directions? It's a fucking trailer.
It gets better.
Okay, I can't wait.
Police say that in addition to directions for the drive-through, there were also postings indicating when the couple's drug business was open or closed.
Nice.
They had hours posted.
Business hours. I love it.
Business hours.
They were closed for Lent.
They were only open from noon to 3 on Saturdays.
Right. They had other things to do, like subscribe to OnlyFans.
We were seeing some overdose incidents that were happening in this particular area, specifically at this particular location, said Ocala Police Captain Stephen Cuppy.
Stephen Cuppy.
There were some heroin sales that were going on there. Subsequently, through the investigation, we were able to determine that the product was laced with fentanyl.
So wait a minute. This is like supersizing your order.
Right.
Not that I've ever done this, but first you get heroin ain't doing it. Let's supersize it with some fentanyl.
Would you like fentanyl with that?
Hey, and side effects may be overdosing and death.
Let me get the number 3 with fentanyl, please. Would you like a large needle or
would you like a Spanish fentanyl coffee? Go with that. Maybe some bath salts as a little.
They've got like a daily special board up there as you drive through.
Whatever happened to the good old days of LSD?
LSD and 8 balls.
Yeah, you trip for 12 hours and you just go back to your daily life.
Good times. Parrish was charged with keeping a dwelling used to sell drugs, possession of drugs with intent to sell, resisting arrest without violence, and driving under the influence. Dobbs was charged with the same, minus the DUI.
I'd punch you if there wasn't 4 of you there, officer.
All right, so there's a picture.
Here we go. Let's get Big B back on solo cam here.
At this point, they were apparently closed. They will be back.
Yeah, fucking close.
They will be back at 4 p.m.
Hang on a minute. We got to go to the meth kitchen. we gotta brew some more meth.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, God love Florida.
Florida never, ever, ever disappoints.
They don't.
We used to have a drug dealer up the road to me, and when it was open, there was a teddy bear in the window or something like that. You know, it was either in the driveway or in the window, so you knew if he was open or not.
Kind of like Roxanne.
Yeah, like
on the red light. Or
I mean, they're just taking it one step further. They've got like a convenient sort of driveway through their house or whatever, through their caravan, and makes sense.
Yeah, they have signs on the window saying "Be back in 10."
Yeah, but the problem is it gets so successful, you end up with like a constant flow of people going through. That was their downfall.
We're offering fentanyl and heroin. The next trailer down only has a choice of one. Today's special.
What does the Happy Meal consist of?
Oh Lord. And I'm curious to know, and I know you don't know, but how long this was happening before they finally got busted? I mean, they obviously weren't hiding it.
Well, and obviously, when they made signs to direct them and then posted hours, apparently it was going on for a long time, and they were confident they were never going to get busted.
Yeah, they're just stupid people, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just idiots.
Perfect home for them. Florida. And I've said this before, though, guys. I've been to Florida multiple times. And maybe I'm going to the wrong places, but like they're different, but nothing to the stories that we tell. I haven't seen a guy riding a bicycle built for two down the street naked or any of that shit. You know, a guy going on a beer run on his John Deere. Stop signs. I like all these stories we have. Like, honestly, I've been to Florida. I've met interesting people. They're a little bit different. I give them that. But none of this, I don't know.
You need to venture out a little bit more than the Disneyland. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. 100%.
But hey, you know what? As long as they keep producing good stories, we'll keep enjoying.
There's obviously something happening there in Florida, isn't there?
There's got to be. I'm always interested to get Sepia Jason Scott's opinion because he's looking so serious, like he's about to report a terrible news story. What do you think of that, Jason?
Well, I think it's a very good idea for that kind of business because there would be less chances of them getting robbed.
Yeah, that's true.
But
they probably got a shotgun at the window.
It would definitely be a heat score because the police would, the neighbors would definitely wonder what's going on next door and let the police know.
I think the neighbors are customers.
Yes. I think they get freebies.
Right.
Yeah. You know, hush money or whatever they used to call it.
Yes, they go up and get the 6-piece crack rock with a side of meth.
Let's welcome Facebook user. Not much Facebook user. We're just going through a few weird stories, and then we're going to go to Mike Jolitz reads the news. But great to see Facebook user. I wonder if Facebook user is already a member of the Cave Crew Radio Facebook group.
Good question.
I wonder.
I just have to say, if any of us were driving through that drive-through window, what would you order? Because I would have to ask them to go through the menu.
Well, number one, I don't like needles.
Yeah. Well, yeah, needles will be out of question. But what have they got for sale?
It's Chris James, ladies and gentlemen. We got to show Chris James how to accept the thing so we know it's Chris. Welcome, Chris James. Great to see you. Well, we get disappointed, Short Side, if we don't see a Facebook. It's part of the fun of the show. It's like they're a super fan when it's actually 10 different people. Remember the 1 week, BB, when there was 2 different Facebook users and we weren't used to it yet. And we're having a conversation and there was 2 of them. I don't know. Remember that?
I remember the one. I don't know if it was a Facebook user or it was a Facebook user, and they said they were Mel or something like that. Yeah. And you went on talking to your wife.
Yes.
It wasn't your wife.
It wasn't. It was a friend of Amanda's. Yeah, I know. And then I had to apologize. What was I do to my wife, too, if I carry on? But I normally, I'm used to that. I rehearse it on a daily basis. Anyway, to you. I remember it was your friend Mel. I remember the night vividly. I was very embarrassed, and it's hard to embarrass me. Trust me. Anyway, the bigger we get, we've got to realize that we're not just talking to a certain group anymore. And sometimes, people have the same name and shit happens. All right. The main event of the evening is next, ladies and gentlemen. We got to leave a little bit of time for it. But first, we're going to take a very short break, which really isn't a break. We have entertainment for you. For Mike Jolitz reads the news. So, Stu, only because you're the one here, you're not leaving. You can still hear. We're going to put you down here, and we're going to bring this up. And, folks, we will be back in about 3 minutes with the highest court of Urine Stench Alley when Scotty and Cher and Casey Baskin go on trial for crimes against humanity and Cave Crew Radio. So stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike reads the news.
Hey. Hello, Cave Crew Radio. How the hell are you guys? I'm doing pretty good. It's another Friday. That's definitely good. So let's go ahead and hit the news. Quarterfinals, so believe it or what, is currently underway and is almost over. It's either Canada versus the UK or Canada versus Canada.
You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
The winner takes on Sir Big B in the finals. Injuries resulting from too much of tucking one out have been dramatically lowered since COVID has been on the decline, reported the CDC. Carpal tunnel and tennis elbow also declined. Stormy Daniels apologized to the Russian government after a vicious queef she released Saturday morning in Los Angeles arrived and knocked out a Russian helicopter. The Ukrainian government sent her a Freedom Medal. Kevin Hart sent Nick Cannon a vending machine full of condoms as a joke after Nick's 43rd kid was born. Sadly, not a single condom was used, and the 47th child is on the way. Pornhub released its top searches for 2021 on its site. Quite interesting. Can't name them all here, but apparently Montana is into anal cream pie, South Dakota wants sex dolls, Maine digs fisting, and Arizona thinks stripping is sexy. Boring. Super funny is Utah's main search was Mormon. I don't even know what kind of sex that is, but I'm going to look it up for sure, for research and all. And West Virginia looked up BBW the most. I don't know what that is, but I'll look it up, for research. There's a Starbucks out here in Mesa that just unionized. Whatever.
Don't care.
But a woman from California drove all the way here to buy a damn cup of coffee to show her support. What a girl. The band Sick Joy is returning to the 2000 Trees Festival this upcoming July. Sorry, lads. I can't make it. Saw a video on Facebook of people pouring out vodka down their sinks. What a waste. I would gladly have taken it off their hands. Dumbasses. Well, Major League Baseball has been delayed. That sucks. I like baseball. I blame Joe. Drunk-ass Nancy Pelosi damn near fell over during President Dumbass's State of the Union address. She got up and either lost her balance or slipped in her urine. I don't know. The 32nd Ostrich Festival is back, baby, and it's bigger than ever. It's returning to the Chandler Walmart parking lot. It promises to be the best ever. Phoenix Suns got their 50th win, blah, blah, blah. They play the Nets tonight and the Bucks on Sunday. Go Bucks. And finally in the news. So long, Bailey. You're a good dog. Gonna miss you. Alrighty, guys, it is now time for some tidbits. They're not headlines, they're just little tiny pieces of shit. Oh, yeah. The NAACP Image Awards were on TV last Saturday. They're on like 7 different TV channels. Sadly, I missed it. Hashtag not really. Yeah. Finished my bottle of Sky Vodka, all gone. What's next? Kidneys are enjoying all the work right now, though. Yeah. 1 in 5 men would give up sex for a year in exchange for the perfect beard. One crazy man, that is. Yeah. The Wisconsin Badgers are your NCAA Big Ten men's basketball champions. Yeah, go Badgers. Yeah. Made it through the first week on days. So tired. Yeah. And finally, in tidbits, it was 87 degrees on Thursday out here in Phoenix. It was so nice. Wasn't that way today. Alrighty, guys. It is now time for your weather. Heading over to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, where DK lives. Saturday is going to be high of 57, Sunday 60, and hold your hats, everybody. It's a big chance of snow and 39 degrees on Monday. Damn. Heading over to New York, where Sir Big B is. Saturday's 47, Sunday going to be rainy and 70, and Monday is going to be high of 64 with a 50% chance of rain. Heading over to London, England, where Guru Stu lives. On Saturday, it's going to be high of 46 with the 70% chance of rain. Sunday, 47 degrees. And Monday is going to be 48 degrees, partly sunny. At least you got that. Heading out here to Surprise, Arizona, where my dwelling is. On Saturday, it's going to be 66. Sunday, 62. And Monday, it's going to be 66. Unseasonably cool, everybody. Alrighty, guys, well, that does it for this Mike Reads the News. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tschüss, ciao, and auf Wiedersehen, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hot topics, weird news, shock talk radio, cavecrewradio.com.
All right, Mike reads the news. All right, he is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the long-awaited event. We will privy what this is about a little bit more on the other side. But on trial tonight is Scotty and Chair and Casey Baskin. The expert panel and jury tonight will be Jason Scott, Sepia Jason Scott, Guru Stu, and myself, DK, and of course the judge that we have here. Ladies and gentlemen,
hear ye, the highest court of Urine Stench Alley is now in session. All rise for the highest authority of the court, as knighted by Her Majesty the Queen. Calling Sir Big B. Calling Sir Big B. Calling Sir Big B.
We now commence with the highest court.
Oh my Lord. Hang on a minute. I got to get you on solo here. All right, let's start.
That is awesome.
That is fantastic.
Let the highest court of Urine Stench Alley commence.
The props we spend money on this show, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't appreciate us, we make zero money off this shit. As a matter of fact, we spend money, and this is what you get.
The budget is endless, you know.
My wife was very curious when she saw the Amazon order. So, what are you doing?
Yeah, my wife.
Show on Friday. Don't worry about it.
My wife wonders quite a bit too. So before we take you off, big full screen, Your Honor, what is the trial tonight before we plead our cases?
This is the trial of Scotty and Chair and Casey Baskin and their crimes against Urine Stench Alley.
Okay. I'm going to leave myself for last. Jason, I know you had some opinions last week. I'm going to bring some new evidence to the table and hopefully sway the popular opinion. But what is your take on Second Life, Scotty and Chair Sanity, and Casey Baskin? You gave a clear argument. I don't know if it's changed at all over the past week, but give us your opinion and sway the audience.
Well, I mean, my opinion would pretty much still be the same, but I do want to add that I'm not putting anyone down when I give them my opinion. And if this is what people do and it makes them happy or fulfills some sort of need in their life, then I'm all for it. It doesn't hurt anyone. I may not be into it, but I don't judge anyone who is.
So what about last week when you said that my father should have pulled out? That's a side note. I shouldn't have brought that up. Anyway, I already told you. It's all good, Jason. Don't get all bottled up. So no, but other than that, you're not judging. You're not giving your opinion, or you're not judging. But what do you feel about this? You're looking at Scotty and his chair and Casey Baskin, and I thought you did it pretty good last week. Give us your thoughts.
Okay. Well, like I said, pretty much the type of people that would gravitate towards that platform are people that have something missing in their life that would make them want to fulfill this Second Life fantasy.
And you're not. We're gonna pull you out for a second because I think when you get the conversation going, if it's like fucking pulling teeth with this guy. Choo-choo Stew or Guru Stew, sorry. Can someone get Mrs. B to take a picture of Big B? This is the next T-shirt.
I will ask my wife to take a picture.
Yes, please. Anyway, Stu, you've listened to this. You were acting quite empathetic. What is your opinion, not just of Second Life, but of Scott and Chair?
Yeah. Look, I love the guy. I think he's very good. The Second Life bit. Look, if your Second Life wasn't like a virtual in that way, it could be sitting in a cabin on your own playing guitar. Yeah, it's another form of Second Life. So I think in some respects, each to their own. Whatever you do, you could be sitting there playing with tarot cards. You could be sitting there playing guitar. You could be sitting there, on a video game or whatever. I think live and let live is my motto.
I don't think they're getting the whole point here, Big B. It's not a matter of playing a game. It's listen to this.
Not as a female. Second Life. If I've been involved in Second Life.
As Casey Baskin.
As a male. Not as a female. I have never and will never play a female avatar because it's wrong.
Then who is Casey Baskin?
Me.
Okay, that took an hour and a half.
But playing a female is a second. It's a second subject. It's like I've played a female when I've played Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, when you were Choo-Choo Sue.
No, but when I've played Paul and I've just put a female avatar up because because blokes think they're playing a woman. So it gives you a slight advantage.
Oh, a pool.
Yeah, Paul.
But in Scotty's defense, the name Casey can also be a male's name.
I'm not arguing that.
So where did this idea that he's playing a female character come up?
I think Short Sai, he was there the whole time. It was beyond It was, you're not getting the fact of the matter, and I know Big B does because he was right there with me.
No, I get it because you're implying and he's alluding to the fact that when he's playing this character, he is this person in real life.
Exactly.
Which is delusional.
He believes, and only under the heat lamp did he finally break. And I wish I could have his face and everything up, and the way he was fidgeting, and
it was intense. He was getting very defensive about it.
He was adamant that Casey Baskin, be it male or be it female, was his business partner, and he could talk to her on the phone. Big B, you can step up even though you're the judge, and throw in your 2 cents.
I cannot say anything at this point. I am the judge and jury.
So it all depends. Was he saying he was a woman?
No, remove the woman now.
Okay.
I originally thought he was playing a female. Right. He pretty much broke down mentally and said it was wrong and he would never do it. And I think Short Side gets this. I mean, he was right there, and I thought Jason was right there with us too when we went through that whole show. He was. Let's remember, this is a man that identifies with inanimate objects. He is friends with a chair. And when I first saw that, I thought it was a joke. But I don't think it's a joke anymore. I think he really is buddies with that chair. And I think he believed that business partner was his. See if I can bring this up. I hate to keep doing this to you, Sue. It's just for a minute. Oh, God, I keep hitting the wrong button. But there you are. Choo-choo Stew and all his beauty. All right. So this was the original statement. I have seen the articles and such about the metaverse and what it has to offer. I want to offer a glimpse of what the online world can offer for artists and those who might need a friendly jumping in point. I have access to an amazing sim in Second Life, and I want to show you, and this is where the confusion is, Big B. Look to the screen, Jason Scott and Guru Stu. I want to show you what she has done. If you want to see it and experience what a virtual world can offer, please let me know. Yada, yada, yada. Thanks, Scott and Casey. Evidence 1.0.
May I enter a minor ruling in this piece of evidence? Where if you could bring that up, please, one more time.
Oh, hang on. I got to get rid of. Sorry, Stu. You're bouncing back and forth. I got rid of it. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, at the end where he has his name in real life and Casey Baskin in Second Life, Casey is spelled with a K.
Yes.
Now, I know many Caseys. The male version of Casey is generally with a C. The female version, all females that I know that are named Casey begin with a K. So let me put into ruling that his spelling is the female spelling of Casey.
And please put into the books, he said she.
He did say, the court acknowledges that he said what she has done.
And I remember when I remember when he posted that on Facebook, and Amanda and I read it, and we also said he's portraying a female character based on the way he worded it in his statement.
Oh, welcome back. So he's gonna see. I told you, you just got to get him on his level, and he'll start chatting around the table. So again, my point is denial.
So can you enlighten me? What crime has been committed?
Well, there's a few. I think there's denial. I think there's delusion. I also will prove in a minute that he is trying to conspire against the actual Facebook metaverse by using Second Life as a revolutionary invader. But I guess my point is sanity and truthfulness, Stu.
Okay.
And fraud.
And fraud. Thank you. I knew I had sense.
And in a sense, tax evasion, because he made reference to generating an income on Second Life and not declaring tax on it or paying tax on it, so that it could almost be tax evasion.
I knew we were friends. Even after all the evil things you said against me last week, I knew we were on the same side, Jason Scott. I'm Short Sai was there the whole time, and he's making some good points. It was real confusing on many levels. I would love to understand it. No doubt, yes. Could you not see our blood pressure during that show, Short Sai? Of just, it wasn't even judgment at that point. It was just trying to get an answer. And that's what it was lacking. And then he says, from what I gather, in Second Life, he works for a female boss, but also portrays the same characters as himself. Very valid points. He says, I might be very, what? I'm wrong. Missing the. I don't think you're wrong. And
I've got to let my cat
its lies. And Stu, this is what happened with the cat?
He needs to come in.
Court will take a 6-second recess.
But I want you while we're waiting for Stu and the cat.
Well, the cat's come in and she wants to probably go out again.
Get in if the door is closed. That's another show. Anyway, look, see what Short Sai is saying. I think him and I are on the same exact page. We were waiting for a conclusion. We were waiting for an answer, but it was evaded. It was there was something something to hide, and he wants to know because he's a good sport. All right, so let me continue. So he did address this on his show. What is it again? Music Cafe.
The Insomnia Music Cafe.
The Insomnia Music Cafe, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is available on iHeart. Here's what he said, and listen closely to this guy.
All right, I'm not looking to not forward to this, but I have to address some stuff that happened on Cave Crew Radio the other day, and something popped up on Friday's show that needs to be addressed. I talked to Cave Crew Radio on last Friday's show. Was the big show about Second Life and what it entails and my role in Second Life. I am my character. My character online is basically myself. What Second Life is going to be viewed as is part of the metaverse. Part of being able to view yourself in another world, being able to talk to other people, do other things as a character or as a, what we call in the game, an avatar. The avatar is a graphical representation of you in the game. Just like in Wii Sports, where you're a tennis player, basketball, bowling, what have you, as a character in a game, as a soldier in a game, as whatever you want to view it as. The metaverse is going to be blowing up soon in terms of people using VR headsets and things like that. What Second Life allows you to do is not use a headset, but actually use the computer, the graphics card, and yourself, and enjoy and immerse yourself in a world that is amazing, horrifying, strange, sexual, business, pleasure, anything you can imagine. A friend of mine has a simulation, or we call them Sims, that you can build on. So she's got a castle with a cannon on it that you can be shot into the air. There's hang gliding, there's rope climbing, there's.
So I'd like to put that into consideration as well. He was obviously, he admitted right away it was his character. Why it took him the whole show to admit it to us. He views it as competition to the metaverse, which this is an old, I don't want to call it game, whatever it is, but it is not a competition. It is not part of the metaverse. Facebook is not absorbing Second Life. Another case of being delusional. He goes on his computer and shoots himself out of cannon. Anybody. Nobody. Fine.
I'm listening to all the evidence.
Are we supposed to be defending him, or what are you looking for here?
Whatever side you want. I ain't gonna defend that crackpot.
I think that's wrong to say that for a start. Can't call him a crackpot. You can't call him a crackpot.
He associates with a chair.
I don't care. That's his right. I find the guy very entertaining. I think he's a nice guy.
That's not the point in question.
No, but you've just said he identifies as a chair, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think he identifies himself as a chair.
But even if he did.
No, he doesn't identify himself as a chair. He has a chair as a friend. And a recliner and a bowl.
Well, that's fine. You know, who am I to say don't do that?
Okay.
Who am I to say that? You can't. You know, if you're stuck in a room, and I'm not saying he's stuck in a room, but if you're stuck in a room and you've only got certain inanimate objects or whatever to that you've got in the room, and you identify them as a friend or whatever, so be it. Let them do it.
Okay.
Let me just take this as an aside in the proceedings. Short Size says, I associate with extreme amounts of peanut butter whiskey, and I agree that is a 100% affirmative ruling.
Right. And you play pool, and not sure what Jason does. He collects his Blue Mountain pottery. Big B enjoys his peanut butter whiskey. I enjoy my beer. We enjoy doing our show. But one of the main things on that episode was our ability to separate.
I'm still here, but I'm just pissing about this cat. Hold on.
Okay. So I think in question was our ability to separate. And if I said to Big B, you enjoy being a fool on Cape Crew Radio and wearing a rug on your head and drinking peanut butter whiskey, he would not carry it on for 90 minutes and elude me. I'm sure he would say yes. If I said, Jason Scott, you enjoy going on road trips and collecting Blue Mountain pottery, even though might not be my interest, you would immediately say yes and start to share why you enjoy that, yada, yada, yada. If Stu enjoyed sitting in his cabin with his cat, playing his guitar, whatever, I'm just randomly throwing things out there, there was. Is anyone getting what I'm saying? Because there's one person I wish was on this show would be Short Sai, because I know he got it. And I know Big B got it because we fucking lived through it. And Big B won't say anything until it's his final conundrum.
I am the judge in this instance. I can't say anything, but I do agree. I was there and I did get it.
And this
I'm not playing a second life. I'm playing myself. So if I'm in here doing whatever I do, I'm playing myself doing what I do. I'm not pretending to be someone else.
Exactly. This is a character. And we were yelling at some of these freaks that were coming from Second Life on YouTube that night that we are parents and we have jobs and we know exactly our financial statements and we have mortgages to pay and cars to repair and all that stuff. We get it. We come on Friday nights. We like to have fun. But there's the question. There's the question I want everyone to sink into their head. We need to understand. And that's what we were trying to do, was understand.
I want to ask Jason something.
Short Sai is so on this.
Short Sai's on it.
Right on.
But get him to call in. But Jason, do you know what crime has been committed here?
I don't think, no crime has been committed.
It's not a crime. It's putting at ease a very disturbing episode.
I think that Ken is upset that Scotty is doing something that makes him happy.
No, I could care less.
See, I've got no issues with him.
Jason, let's just role play for a second here. Let's just role play. You're a sex addict and you watch a lot of porn and you like to masturbate. And I'm going to ask you a question.
But this is a tough one for him, yeah?
This is just role play. Okay, it's just role play. Jason,
just try hard, yeah?
Like to masturbate to porn. And if you did, you would say
yes.
I know I have a very confusing approach to this, but it's not that confusing. Short Sai fucking gets it, okay? He gets it. He lived through that whole fucking shit episode. It's not a matter you play a video game. It's not a matter that you make pottery. It's not a matter that you like to wake up in the morning and make pancakes. It's admitting to what it is.
I should have muted.
Are you following me now? Are you following me now?
Well, like I said earlier, Ken, I may not be interested in doing it myself.
Address me,
but I can't.
Name, please.
Who's Ken? It's DK.
Could you please?
But is that your Second Life character, or is that reality?
Address me as my avatar name, my business partner. Well, I know the difference between the two. See, that's what you don't understand.
I mean, I gave you my opinion on this for about half an hour last episode, so I don't want to be redundant by repeating myself. But also, I'm not going to sit here and degrade anyone and their choice and lifestyles.
No, and similarly, I can understand that there's a difference between.
Amanda gets it. The people in chat are getting it, Judge B. If you're reading the chat,
I am.
There's a difference between Africa and the real life Stu, yeah?
Yes.
So, but the two, never the twain shall meet, as they say, yeah?
Exactly, Stu.
Never the twain shall meet.
Write something down.
Pardon while I write things down. Then,
if you can bend that that fucking rug you've got on your head, never the. You know the difference.
Yeah, never the twain shall meet. So
Listen,
there is.
I agree with Amanda.
It's
but
not
be
the same.
honest about it.
I think that also the argument was that Ken was between Ken and Scotty. DK and Scotty and Chair was that anything that transpires on Second Life is not considered reality. But that's because DK and Scotty have conflicting definitions of what reality is.
Thank you. Strike that down right now, Big B. He just knocked himself out of the park with that one. We have conflicting of what reality is. And Jason, if you think Second Life is real, please don't do this to me again.
But that's not a crime. In defense of Scotty and the Chair, that is not a crime.
Oh my God.
It's not a crime. In old school, right? In old times, go back 20, 30 years, you take them outside and you kick the shit out of them. Everyone would come back in and would get on as normal, right?
I think Scotty needs to elaborate on what he meant when he said that Second Life can be horrifying.
You can do that on your show.
So, I mean, what's horrifying? What are they doing on Second Life that's horrifying to people? That could, at that point, that's the actions could be considered dangerous, right? Because if they're engaging in behavior which is scaring people and people are considering it horrifying, what is he talking about?
Now, if I may intervene in this debate, I've become aware of a conversation that happened between DK and Scotty, where Scotty made a proclamation, and it is not up to me to say or to put into evidence. I will leave it up to DK if he wishes to present this to the court.
So I would definitely hold him in contempt of court through this. Sorry, Jason, you're the closest to hide this time. We'll bring you right back. Here is a copy of a conversation, and this is why I keep all this stuff. And him and I went through this a lot. It was always just a point of being honest. And I found like he was in a cloud. He was making a charade through the entire thing. We could have blown through that Second Life segment in 5 minutes. He said, I will not return unless you drop it. I said, have fun out there. Stay safe. I'm not uttering any kind of threats or anything. I believe below, though, or ahead, I did tell him, unfortunately, one of the problems with us, we don't drop anything. We bring up things from 10 years ago.
Hence the book of Choo Choo Stew.
Correct. See? And Short Size says, no, fuck that. That hour was gold. You're not letting that go. We're not letting that go. Anyway, that's all I got. Look, I want to say something to my peers, Judge B, not just to you and to the listeners. I really feel like Short Side, and I really feel like even maybe Amanda kind of get this. We were led on a trail of deceit throughout that show. It's not a matter. My kid plays Call of Duty and Fortnite and NHL 95, and I'm sure when he's immersed in the game, he feels like he's that character. When I'm doing the show, I'm all in for the show. When I'm at work, though, I'm doing work. When I go upstairs, if there's something wrong with the house, I will have to deal with that. I will have to deal with my real life wife and family.
Okay, stop it.
I'm not done yet, and I want you to stop it. Or are you talking to Gus?
Talking to Carl.
Carl, okay.
I just have a feeling also, I just want to interject quickly. I think when Scotty was telling us this about his experiences, that we were going to sit there in awe and fascination and see it as a cool, edgy, hip thing, right? But because he didn't get the reception he was expecting, because in these people's minds, this metaverse is fascinating and cutting edge and the wave of the future kind of thing. So because we didn't jump on that bandwagon, I think maybe he got insulted and became very defensive.
All very valid points. But Short Sigh, about the drop it point, Big B said, it wasn't deceit. It was a trip. We followed along for the story and we liked it. And that was another thing I mentioned to him. I said, Scotty, this is comedy. This is the stuff that is going to make you famous. This is why people love you, is the character of Scotty. Just like Katie Baskin is a character, you pulling this shit like the napkins on air is what's going to make people love you and come back for more. But he finds it insulting. Anyway, I'm done. I have no final argument. Jason Scott, you kind of made your final argument, but do you have anything else to give to the judge?
Live free. I don't know.
Can't even do it with a straight face. Stu, final arguments now that we've tried to bring our points up.
I can only the only context that I'm sort of relate to is like someone that I work with, and I've mentioned it before. If it was like going back 30 years, I can't actually say what my situation is with at work. But if it was 30 years ago, and I'm thinking about sort of like the police service, police force, they would have took the person outside or out of the way of people's vision, kicked the shit out of them, or if it was like at school, kick the shit out of them in the playground. And then when it goes back in class, it's all forgotten and that person will come back to reality, sort of thing, you know? But nowadays it's a totally different game, and everyone has to sort of go, oh, yeah, that's really good. Or you sort of agree with it and you have to sort of, pretend that it's real, really.
Now, there is another interesting point. I'm not pleading anything to my case, but I think Stu has a good point. You get the shit kicked out of you. We're looking for an answer. We're punching in the stomach, and we carry on.
Like if I would have gone to work dressed as Choo Choo Sue, okay, and you remember I once appeared on this channel as Choo Choo Sue, and it was all tongue in cheek. It was all a bit of a laugh. Okay, I did enjoy it, and it felt very nice, I must admit. But if I would have gone to work,
two vaginas.
Nevertheless, I didn't even have a vagina. One would have been a blessing. But if I would have gone to work like that today, yeah, dressed in a bit more of a sober outfit, in like a work uniform, no one would have had the right to question me. Okay,
right?
And I believe they, you know, why wouldn't you question me? But anyone question why I was doing it and all that would be up in the Urine Stench Alley court, really. Do you know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
But 30 years ago, you would have taken me outside, kicked the shit out of me, and said, "Get your jeans back on, get your t-shirt back on, and business as usual." And that's what
I guess in a weird Stu an elegy kind of way, that's what I'm saying to Scotty. Put your big boy pants on, get back on the fucking show, and take your licks.
Yeah.
I mean, I was told last week that I should have been an abortion. I'm still here.
Yeah. I mean, like, we have to take the rough with the smooth, and people, through life, people give us a kick in, whether it's verbally or whatever. And
a kick in the cooter.
Yeah, a kick. We take a kick in the cooter every now and again, and hey ho, life goes on, and we just have to get on with it,
Fair enough. Jason Scott, this is your last chance, because I think add on when someone speaks.
I think that the Scotty and Cher character or brand is interesting and entertaining in itself, that he doesn't need to branch off into another character.
Good point. Short Sigh also has a great point, Sir Big B. But we can only do this if Scotty is willing. I think Scotty needs to confide more in the show without getting the shit beaten out of him. We need to understand and help him to explain it. Anyway, I'm going to bring on full screen, gentlemen. We are all done speaking, no matter what Big B says now. The highest judge in all the court, in all the land, has listened to all of us. He has read the chat. He was also present through all this. I think we might have lost Jason. I'm not sure. Anyway, Sir Big B, I turn it over to your most honorable decision.
All stand.
Well,
so everybody made very valid points, and especially Stu and Jason made very compelling argument that he does what he wants to do. That's what is kind of his thing. That's where he wants to go in his free time. He should be able to do that and so forth. And I do 100% agree. The problem I have with this is that, yes, he knew the risks coming onto the show. He's heard the show. He knows what we've done with Stu, and obviously Stu alluded to it before with the Book of Stu. We bring up the past, we pull out stories, we make fun, we have a lot of fun, and we move on. So Scotty knew that going into the show. The show in question, he became very defensive in. He did not try to defend himself within the show. He went to another show, his own show, that was completely separate from Cave Crew Radio, and made an argument. These people that listen to his show, the Insomniac Music Cafe, I would gather have no bearing or no understanding of what happens on Cave Crew Radio. So he's making an argument on a completely separate show where he knows he's not going to be challenged on it. He knows he's not going to be questioned on it. He can just say his point, say his piece, and he's done with it. He gets to leave it as it is. The other problem I have is his statement where he says he will not come on this show again until we drop it. In and of itself, I don't have a problem with him saying that. But as seen in the chat room, not only by Short Side, but Amanda and others as well, they want further explanations. Short Side has made the case for us to not abuse him, not beat him up for it, let him come on and make his case. Say what he needs to say, get it off his chest. He has said he refuses to do that. And he refuses to come on the show unless we are not talking about Second Life. And we can't not talk about Second Life when the crowd demands some answers, some closure, and so forth. So, while I agree, he has every right to be in Second Life. He has every right to be whatever avatar he wants. I don't care, male, female, Sonic the Hedgehog, a fucking bench, a tree with 6 limbs. I don't care. The fact that he refuses to come on this show until we drop it is an offense to all of our listeners who have asked publicly tonight that they want some further answers. They want further analysis. They want some closure on the subject. With all that being said, here is my ruling. Scotty was proclaimed to be the assistant junior intern several weeks ago when he first joined the show. Because of his current state of refusing to come on this show, to be a part of the show, and to further along this intriguing story that obviously more people want to know, he is being demoted to the assistant junior intern in charge of sanitation. He is also required to provide 100 hours of community service within Urine Stench Alley. And he is penalized a financial sum of 10 million linden.
Oh.
In this ruling, I will say to Scotty, this can be discharged. This ruling can be discharged and put to the side if you come back on the show and further explain your point as requested by the audience here tonight, Short Sai, Amanda, and so forth. If you come back on the show and we further move along this conversation, the penalty will be put aside and will be dismissed. Until you do that, you are demoted to the assistant junior intern in charge of sanitation. You are required to provide 100 hours of community service within Urine Stench Alley and pay a sum of 10 million linden. So say the judgment of the highest court of Urine Stench Alley.
There, ladies and gentlemen, you have it. And I think
stressful times here.
I think that the $10 million fine of Linden should be, to a worthy cause of some sort.
Is it $10 million or 10 million linden?
Linden.
10 million linden.
Linden.
I don't know what happened to Jason Scott. I think he needed.
Is that the same amount? Does that equal to the same amount of the postage to London for a Cave Crew Radio T-shirt?
I don't think it's that much.
Good one here. That is a fair ruling, Big B. Scotty, if you're reading this, get back online and tell us the story. You can promote some music if the court allows.
The court, following along with our good constituents of Urine Stench Alley, we will allow Scotty to promote music if he comes back on the show and discusses this. Until then, the penalty is in force.
And he thinks 10 million lindens is the price of a blowjob.
It's like $1.75.
Or 2 hot dogs.
There you go.
It's a fair price to pay.
That was fair. We just want answers. And Jason's gone. Now his battery unplugged or Amanda said it's time we got to go get dessert.
Being a previous
take off your wig, Big B.
Being a previous junior intern, I held that position for quite a long time, and I think I'd done a great job. So I think demoting him from that job, I think promoting him to that job in the first place was it was quite a stretch. So demoting him is a good thing.
And I agree with you. And Big B's not back yet, so I don't know if he heard what you said.
No, but people think the junior intern, it's just like the lowest of the low. It's an easy job. It's a hard job.
Yes, and you held that position for a very long time.
Yeah.
Now, Stu, you also took an extreme amount of abuse.
Yeah.
You still flew across the ocean, not once, but twice, to visit us and our families in a real world.
I did, but I have to say, look, I played a character, and that character didn't necessarily show what I was like in a real life world. Yeah, it showed like 1 hour a week when I was like having usually a lot to drink.
Yeah.
So it didn't portray the real me, and it didn't portray how I was at work or whatever, and it was nothing to do with my work, I have to say. But yeah, sorry, carry.
There's just so many questions. Like, is it a preference to be in that world as opposed to this world? Just questions that straight answers, right or wrong, could have answered. I think it was the deception and the smoke and mirrors that really got me, and I think the audience too. Now that I see the comments tonight,
and that's why I think he needs to come back on, because the audience is asking for him to come back on and continue the conversation. They are not berating him; they are defending him actually, but they want him to come back on and elaborate,
clarify who is Casey Baskin. What does Casey Baskin do?
I don't think there's anything wrong with being that second life.
I don't either. My problem is it was like drawing teeth to get an answer. Yeah. And if you go back and listen to that, Stu,
and I will do. I will go back and listen.
It's what, I don't know now, 2 episodes ago, 3.
Yeah.
It's called something about Linden, isn't it? It's for beer or something.
I have it written down in the book.
Yeah, the episode is the Linden's for beer, and you can feel the frustration. And again, Short Size says it. We never got the answer. I think if we take Second Life out of this,
Linden's for beer.
Linden's for beer. That's the one. Listen to that one. And Short Size, I think, is aligned with me. We weren't getting the answers. We were hearing about McDonald's advertising and all these side things, and he was alluding that this business partner was a separate entity than him, and this is what confused everyone. And if you just lay it straight out, look, I'm Casey Baskin. Here's where I reign on Second Life. This is what I do. This is my part in the game. Everyone would have been fine with it, and we would have carried on. So I'm glad. I'm really happy because, like, I feel the empathy of you and Jason Scott. I really do. You're getting me all wrong. It's not a matter that he's in the game, and it's not a matter of who or what Casey Baskin is. Short Side gets it. We wanted answers, and we wanted to understand without judgment. Yes, we would have cracked jokes. That's what we do here.
Yeah, you take the piss.
We do it to each other. Jason Scott thinks I should have been an abortion last week. It's all good and dandy.
It's all fun. Once you come on between 8, what time do we go on? 8? Between 8 and sometimes 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's all in good fun.
It's all fun. We all support each other. We're all friends on the side, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about our appliances breaking down, and the weather outside is frightful and all that good stuff. Anyway, we got to end this because, A, I need to pee. And unfortunately, being the producer glued to the chair, I can't do that. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you, Short Side, for all your input. Thank you, everyone else, for listening and all your input. And we will continue to encourage Scotty to listen to this show and reach out to us and come on and have some more fun.
Are we naming the show?
What's that?
Are we naming the show?
Oh, we forgot to do that. Let's sorry.
I know you're very anxious to go pee. But
Well, I do have to do that, and I'm noticing we're really carrying on a late show. It's not over, short side. Don't leave yet. All right, I'll go first. I know I know Stu is always very quick. Amanda and Chad, if you can tell us what happened to Jason Scott, we'd appreciate it. I have a short side. Cockstock. Whoa, what happened there?
Where did you go?
I'm here. You guys here?
I hear you.
All right. That was weird. I have from short side. Should have worn a cock sock.
Yeah. I had that as well.
I have Mike Jolitz, and I think a lot of people left during this. This is not a show title, but I think it'd be an excellent show note. She either lost her balance or slipped in her urine. I don't even know where that was. And then I had short side, Mind the Gap. Kind of rang a bell with me. Stu, you said you had
yeah, the only it should have won a cocksock. That
your only
wrote down earlier.
Is that your only one?
That was the only one I wrote down. Yeah.
Okay, we've got that one. Feel free to contribute, chat room. Big B has 4.
5.
5.
First one I have is keep it to the right. Our buddy Choo Choo Stew. Next up, never the twain shall meet.
Oh, good one, yes. That is not train. That is twain.
Twain.
Yeah.
Next up, are you ready for next up?
Ready.
Next up, a kick in the cooter.
That's too old.
Well, I wrote it down.
I know, but that we used that like 8 episodes ago.
Okay, so we will pass a kick in the cooter.
Yeah.
So next one after that, double dildo Dora.
All right. And
my final one, and this is my pick. It is not too long for a show name, I don't think. I couldn't get tampons to work.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. You got to laugh out of shorts eye in chat. I couldn't get tampons to work, or should have worn a cock sock. And the rest will be show notes, I am sure. Sorry to eliminate Kicking the Cooter, Big B, but that's a name of a show, I think, back in the...
Oh, that's fine. That's I wrote it down as things are said. I write things down.
I get it. I do.
My vote is.
I do also like Never the Twain Shall Meet.
Well, my vote is I couldn't get tampons to work.
Right. Choo Choo Stew.
I like the I couldn't get tampons to work.
All right. As 2 vote, ladies and gentlemen, I normally subside. These show names are getting extremely long, but I will go there one more week. I couldn't get tampons to work shall be the name of the show, with some awesome show notes.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't wait to put those into in the thing. And again, the haha from Short Side. I think you enjoyed it. All right, now we're going to kick things off, and we'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Have fun.
Later.
Thank you very much for listening to the show. Now stay safe, take care, and wash your hands.
I want you to pack up and get out. Get the hell out of here!
Go! Just go! Get out! Get the hell out!
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!